Hey, all right, we're going to get this going. We are right now taking a break between the beginning of the show and the commercials. So we are listening to Wanda Monet. I think I need to stop talking so they can hear the music play. Our topic today is what's on your financial mind. We're running live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So by all means, continue to hit us up with your questions, your comments, and your concerns. I'm going to take a quick break again, but once again, the topic is what's on your financial mind. We turn this down a little bit until the show picks back up. You know, doing Power Over Tomorrow has always been a good factor as far as being able to get financial information out to the general public. You know, we're living in a time where the information is at a premium, to say, meaning that for those who know, continue to excel, and for those who don't know, continue to wonder why things happen the way they do. So what we do here on Power Over Tomorrow is provide sound financial information to enable people to make an educated decision. Here we go.
With our resident financial advisor, Tyrone Mitchell.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Power Over Tomorrow. I'm your host again, Tyrone T.S. Mitchell, and today's topic is what is on your financial mind. That's right. What's on your financial mind? You know, many times I can sit here and talk about what's in the news and, you know, and what's happening on the market and what's happening with the insurance companies and banking industries. But what do we always say? How does that affect me? Sometimes the information that we need the most needs to be specific to the point where we can really understand what must we do. And, you know, I often think of, when I think of those terms, what must we do? It relates to the fact that on the day of Pentecost, when Peter preached the first gospel sermon, they said the hearts of people were pricked, and they said, men and brethren, what must we do to be saved? Well, people always want to know what must they do. When you're dealing with financial matters, we need to understand what must we do to be saved from creditors. You know, what must we do to be saved from predatory lenders? What must we do to be saved from living in poverty? You know, sometimes what must we do to be saved even from ourselves? So what we're talking about today is what is on your financial mind. You know, during the break when I was waiting, we listened to a song called Breakthrough by Wanda Monet. Breakthrough. When we are working and when we are trying to make ends meet, when we are trying to make sure we have more money at the end of the month, you know, we are trying to make a breakthrough. And the reason why we're trying to make a breakthrough is because sometimes we are sick and tired of what? Being sick and tired. If we're going to be able to move forward, if we're going to be able to just tackle that obstacle or overcome that obstacle that's before us, we have to have the knowledge that we need, or the knowledge that is available, so that we can basically do better with what we've been blessed with. Many times when we're thinking about how we go about things in life, we have to be able to put it in a type of position that gives us a truer understanding. Now, one question that has come across from our chat room is the question was, dear Mr. Mitchell, or actually she said, hello, Mr. Mitchell. It says, have you heard about Litecoin? And if you can you expound on it? Well, when we hear the term Litecoin, that is another form of what is called cryptocurrency. Okay, cryptocurrency. Now, we done a show on cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do, I'm going to write it down. So, because I always say a long pencil is better than a short memory. So what we're going to talk about, what I'm going to write down is that I am going to post at the end of the show on our webpage, financial our Facebook page. My goodness, where's my water? I tell you, these old lips of mine just don't want to act right sometimes. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's some good water there. All right. Now, we're going to post on our Facebook page, which is T.S. Mitchell Financial, and also our Facebook page, which is Power Over Tomorrow. So we got two of them for you, Power Over Tomorrow and T.S. Mitchell Financial on Facebook. What we're going to post on those two pages will be our article on cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency has many different names. There are names such as Litecoin, Ripple, not the Ripple that Fred Sanford talks about. Okay, then you also have Bitcoin. You have Stellar. I mean, there are so many out there. Now, I'm not trying to promote anyone in general, but what I'm saying is that the essence of cryptocurrency is this. It is a way of bartering. That's what it is. It's just a way of bartering. Now, folks have been asking about this because it seems to be the hottest thing on the market. Well, when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to express this in a way that I'm not trying to show any favoritism toward it or against it. But I want you to understand is that you're going to have to make a decision. How do you want to manage your money? If you're investing in cryptocurrency, and whatever name it goes by, you must understand that it is something that is highly unregulated. Hear me now, it's unregulated. One day it can be worth $1, one day it can be worth $100 or $1,000, but there is no true measure of the currency. What folks are doing with cryptocurrency is that they're using it as a way to get around the ordinary investments or the ordinary banking system. Now, I'm going to share something. Before we had our modern day currency, let's just take the United States for instance, because I know this program is international. All right, so let's just take the United States. Our current currency or the federal banking system is a centralized banking system that helps regulate the value of the dollar, that helps monitor how much money is in the system. Now, when that dollar, when there is too much money in the system, the value of the dollar goes down, meaning that the money is not worth what it used to be. Now, when there is less money in the system, the value goes up. So what the federal government does is that they constantly balancing between the two. All right. So the reason why they balance between the supply and the demand is so that the dollar can have a steady value. Bitcoins, and all forms of cryptocurrency are not regulated by any form of government. That's the danger to it. And the reason why there is a danger to it, because you're giving your investment over. When you give that investment over, who are you giving it to? Many times these organizations are established by individuals that you just do not have any contact with. Now, if you remember, when there was the growth of the .com industry, It was the hottest thing on the market, and folks were investing in .coms. And what the .coms was, it was at the infancy stage of the internet, and companies were coming up, going on the internet and providing services and going on the markets. Well, folks were investing in those markets and investing in those companies, but at the beginning stage of any company is one of the most riskiest and speculative times that someone can invest in them. The reason for that is because when you're dealing with the market, and I'm meaning not just the stock market, because for those who are listeners of this program, Power Over Tomorrow, you know that we talk about there are 5 markets out there: stock, bond, mortgage, money, and foreign exchange. Now, we typically only hear about the stock market because that's the most exciting one. That's the most the one that gives all the the bells and whistles. I mean, it's moving and grooving, so it keeps you it keeps you on edge. And many folks like that high intensity on edge aspect. When you're dealing with cryptocurrency, not only will it keep you on edge, it will also sometimes push you over the edge. Because when you don't know where your money is being handled and how it's being handled, that is a very, very big danger. So what can you do? When you're dealing with investments that are speculative, I always recommend that if that investment is going to be if it's going to be worth its salt or worth its weight, then it won't take much money for it to grow. Someone once said, when I first entered into business many years ago, when people asked, what's the best investment? They used to tell me that the best investment was the one you can afford to lose. Well, I'm not here to help you lose any money, but what I am here to help you do is gain the knowledge for when you use the money. Understand this, as it is written in Deuteronomy 8:18. Remember the Lord your God, for it is He that gives you the ability to make wealth. When God gives you the ability, He's also going to give you the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding that goes with that ability. So if you are going to invest or move any money in the form of cryptocurrency, what will be your end game? What's your end game? Are you just trying to, hey, I just want to throw some money in there to see how it feels? And all right, then what's separating you from buying a lottery ticket or just going to Vegas or Atlantic City or any other resort area and just putting money in the slot machine or letting it ride on the roulette table? All that stuff is not regulated. All right, so when you're dealing with cryptocurrencies, yes, you're taking hard-earned money and putting into highly speculative areas. Now, can you make money? Oh, yes, you can. But you need to know certain things, not just about the investment, but also about yourself. And what is it that you need to know about yourself? Well, one factor is that it is what is your time horizon. In other words, how long do you want to invest? Okay. And then you want to match the investment to that time horizon. Another thing that you need to know about is what is called your risk tolerance. How much can you tolerate the market going up or down on your portfolio? When you are dealing with cryptocurrencies, they are highly speculative, which means that they can give a great return. The old adage, you may have heard it before. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. Okay, but how much of a risk are you willing to take? If you are going to invest into speculative markets, for my clients, I always recommend no more than 5% of your investable assets. That's it. No more than 5%. If that investable asset, all your investable assets total $100,000, no more than 5%, $5,000. Now you may say, well, I want to do more. I want to do more. Okay, well, there are ways that you can continue to invest and get a good return. But the key to investing, whether it is in cryptocurrency, whether it is in blue chip stocks, money markets, foreign exchange, bonds, whatever it is. The key to anything that you're doing when it comes to appreciating your dollar value is allocation. You appreciate through allocation, meaning that you have your money spread in different areas. Understand the markets, understand the financial markets. Why? Because all markets do not perform at the top at the same time. When we are dealing with, just the other day, the market went down, they say, 400 points on the Dow, which basically is about 3%. Okay. It went down. Now, if you are just solely investing in one area and the market goes down, guess what? The value of your money goes down. But here's what you do. If you have money allocated in stocks, bonds, money market, mortgage, foreign exchange, and all different markets, when one market goes down, money grows someplace else. I often remember the days when I was growing up back in New York. And back then, there were two, for you young folks born after 1990, okay, there was two record stores, all right? I know everything is on streaming now, but we used to have to go and buy our records and our CDs and then even before CDs, but our cassettes. And there were two stores, Crazy Eddie and The Wiz. Crazy Eddie and The Wiz. And back down, for those who are familiar with Jamaica Queen, all right, and other parts of New York, there were on one corner was Crazy Eddie, and directly across the street on the other corner was The Wiz. Now, these two used to compete against each other, and what they would do is that they would, I guess, have price wars. Now, in their price wars, we as customers, we would see which one would give the better deal. But eventually, Crazy Eddie went out of business. And so what happened with the people? The customers did not stop buying music. See, when Crazy Eddie went out of business, the customers went over to The Wiz. They went over to Tower Records. They went over to, Sam Goody, all the other different record stores. So we did not stop buying music when one company went out of business. We just went someplace else. And I say that to say this. Allocation. If you are investing money, then what you want to do is that you want to have a little money, not just in one record store or one area, but allocated in others. So if you had all your money in Crazy Eddie, and then when Crazy Eddie went bankrupt and out of business, guess what you lost? You lost your money too. So, but if you had money in Crazy, money in Wiz, money in Tower, and in all the different places, when one went down, the money flowed to the other areas. That's what allocation is. So you can still invest in the same area, but have it diversified or have it allocated into more than one aspect in that area. So whether you're dealing with cryptos, all right, whether you're dealing with blue chips or bonds, don't just have it all sitting in one particular account, but diversify. So, and I hope that's not a long answer to a short question, but sometimes when you're dealing with new things that are coming on the market, you want to give it its just due. And the reason for that is that so that people can help themselves know better when it comes to investing their money. Yes, I have been watching cryptocurrencies, and I will continue watching it because I often do get these type of questions. Another question I've been getting in the same aspect of cryptocurrency is questions about, now get this now, okay? Questions about investing in, all right, now you hear this? Investing in what? In the medical marijuana. Yes, indeed. Some people want to talk about medical marijuana. And the reason why they want to talk about that is in many states, it is legal to what? to open up what they call a dispensary. And when they open up that dispensary, what they're doing is that they are selling marijuana legally. Now, there's some political things that we can talk about as far as, why is it now all of a sudden legal to sell it? But when folks have been selling nickel and dime bags for a long time, not that I know, I heard, okay, been selling nickel and dime bags and been getting 15 and 20 years in jail. Oh, well, hey, this is what we have to deal with. All right, so, we may not be able to change everything, but with proper understanding of the laws of the land, you just got to learn how to play the game. Now, the question that comes up, is investing in a company that that issues stock, and they're a medical marijuana company. Is that a good company to invest in? I've had that question come up, and you know what? Once again, you have to do your research. You have to do your research. Many of those startup companies that come on board, especially with these new industries, those are what we typically call the high risk investments. Okay, here's some of the questions that you may want to ask. Okay, if a company is selling medical marijuana and you find an opportunity to buy stocks or invest in that company, well, number one, you want to look and see where are they located? What's their headquarters? Where is their headquarters to say? You want to know the laws of that land. Are they just limited to that area? Okay, because in many cases, they cannot do business outside of an area. And on top of that, how are they going to invest their money? The reason why I say that is because the financial industry, the banking industry, and investment industry are still looking at money from marijuana sales still as an illegal act. So therefore, they do not want to find themselves caught up with the idea of money laundering. So many of those industries or many of those companies, rather, I should say, are not able to open up bank accounts. So that's where cryptos come in, because the activity that the company is involved in, they have to put their money somewhere. And many of the marijuana dispensaries who cannot open up regular bank accounts are going into crypto areas. Now, once again, it is highly speculative on both sides. So as an investor, and also as an advisor, we want to take our time. Build your information on sound information, and not based on feelings, and not based on speculation, and truly not based on what your neighbor's best friend's girlfriend's brother cousin's mechanic does. Take time, do your research. That's why when you look at our website, tsmitchell.com, and you go into the learning center, you see things that are established as far as the amount of information that is in the learning center that is there to help you. You can download it, you can read it, you can take the app, the financial app, and put it on your Apple or your Android phones. That way it's always with you. And then on top of that, you can always just give us a call, and we will be able to take your question, do the research, and then provide you with sound financial information. Now, all that is what? All that is just for the price of paying attention. That's all it is. Some folks say, they so poor they can't pay attention. Well, on this part, well, yes, you can. Because all it takes is a listening ear and a willing spirit, and you will be amazed at what can be done. So, cryptocurrencies, marijuana companies, they all are new things that are coming out, and they're speculative. So take your time, do your research, and if you're going to invest, my recommendation, don't do more than 5% of your investable assets. All right. Now, if the minimum investment requires more than 5%, then that just tells you right now you need to save more money. We always talk about how do you save, and I think even on our commercial we say, the question is, does it take a lot of money to invest with T.S. Mitchell? And my answer is this: if you can save $1.50 a day, then we can talk. And the reason why I say if you can save $1.50 a day, on a 30-day month, that's $45. And then you can add an extra $5 just for reaching your goal. So you got $50. We can show you how to buy blue chip stocks, bonds, money markets, mutual funds, just for $50 a month. Now, but here's the point. You need to have a system. That's what we talk about. So when I ask the question, what is on your financial mind, I'm also asking you, what is on your mind? What type of system do you have? A young man just reached out to me in an email just on Sunday. We met him at church. And he said, I've been thinking about my retirement. He said, I'm young, but I know I'm not going to be young forever. He said, I've been thinking about my retirement. I just haven't known, what to do. And, so we had a chance to converse. And what we talked about was the process. Wealth management, which I speak of, is a process, a mindset. Once you set your mind to it, it's about going through the steps to get you where you need to be. See, a good process will look at where you are, see where you want to be, and then develop itself to help you get there. Now, the process of wealth management, the process that you go through in life is forever changing. Why is it always changing? Because the laws of the land change. Was it 6 months, 8 months ago, maybe a year ago? We were under a different set of tax laws. So when the tax laws change, guess what also changes? The outcome of how we are investing, or the outcome of how we are saving. And so what do we have to do? We have to adapt. Don't give up. No, I say what? Don't be afraid, but be aware. Don't give up. Make sure that you're getting the proper information that you need so that you can make an educated decision concerning your family, your future, and your finances. And as we always say, we want to continue to hear from you. Hit us up at 619-924-0933. Again, it's 619-924-0933. And hit option 1. And when you hit option 1, you will be in the queue. Then when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number, then you will be live on the air with us here on Power Over Tomorrow. So we definitely want to hear from you. Why? Because the show tonight is what? What is on your financial mind? So we're coming to you live on Facebook. We're coming to you live on YouTube. We're bringing it to you. Why? Because you got to make these choices. And these choices are being made on a daily basis. Some of the choices that we have to make are things such as I'll break it down. Number 1, our monthly expenses. We have to make choices on our monthly expenses. Why? Because we want to make sure we don't have too much month at the end of the money. Many times when we're dealing with issues of minimum wage or issues of building wealth, if we take the time to just inhale and exhale, just for a moment, we will recognize the fact that when folks are saying we're going to have discussions on minimum wage, that's not the true issue. The true issue is livable wages. What does it cost to live in your area? If you live in the 5 boroughs of New York, you are going to pay more for living. The cost of living is going to be higher than it would be if you was in Biloxi, Mississippi. All right? Growing up, it was often said that Southern California and Long Island were 2 of the most expensive places to live because of the cost of living in this United States. And the reason for that is because a lot of things that we were used to were added in the form of taxes. Now, here we are in a southern state, and we say, wow, we don't have to pay as much in taxes. But then we often say, well, wait a minute, why are some school districts outside of the metro areas in the South still struggling, still working with outhouses, still having books that are 5 and 10 years old? Why do some of the history books in some of our schools still show President Ronald Reagan as the current president? Because many of our areas, while they claim they don't have high taxes, they take the money away from areas of education. They take the money away from civil servants. All right, so there are some good things about having taxes, and then there are some bad things about having too much tax. If we understood where our money was going, then that would be a fine thing. But sometimes we see issues of embezzlement, money laundering, money being misused. So people tend to get discouraged when it comes to paying taxes, and they don't feel that the money is going to be used in the proper manner. If I'm paying taxes and I can see that my streets are clean, that I have street lights, that we have sidewalks, that our schools are not ranked in the bottom, in the bottom percentile of all the states. All right. If I can see the results of my investment in the form of paying taxes, then I will more than willing continue to pay. It's just like when you invest your money. If you can see the results of your investment, that your portfolio is being managed properly, that you are getting a decent return, that when you have a question, folks are there, someone is there to answer your question and address your concerns. When you invest your time, when you invest your talent, when you invest your treasure, you make that investment so that you can have what? Some form of a return. Remember the story of the talent in the book of Matthew? And it said the master gave one 5 talents, 1 2, and 1 1. The one who had 5, who was given 5 talents, and let's say this, talents in that time was a measure of money. 1 talent was equivalent to 10 denarii, and 1 denarii was equivalent to a week's pay. So when a person got 10 denarii, which is 1 talent, they got 50 weeks pay, almost 1 year. Now just think about your paycheck. Just think about your weekly paycheck. Imagine if someone came up to you and said, you know what, we're going to take, we're not going to give you 1 week's pay. We're going to give you 50 weeks pay. So that person who got that 1 talent, they got 50 weeks of pay, 1 year's worth of pay. Okay? The person who got 2 talents was given 2 years worth of pay. And the person that got 5 talents was given 5 years worth of pay. So now, what did they do? The one who had the 5 talents took it and made more, and he made 5 more talents. He basically invested the money, and he made a wise decision and was able to bring back 5 more. So he turned 5 into 10. The one who had 2 took the 2 and made it 4. But the one who had 1 talent took his talent and did nothing with it. Did nothing with it. So when the master returned, he said, what did you do? And now, of course, when folks don't do what they're supposed to do, they always have excuses. And, and when it comes to excuses, I say, stop making an excuse and make a way. So when his answer to the master is, what did you do? Why didn't you, do better? He said, well, I know you're the master. You make money, and you can make your money grow. So I just put it aside and didn't do anything with it. And the master's response was, I could have taken that money and put it in the bank and made interest. So when you are given a talent, when you are given something in life, whether it is physical, spiritual, or financial, you are responsible for doing the best you can with it. And if you can, double what you got. So if you got a talent, double what you got. But how do you double it? You don't take unnecessary risk, but what you do is that you understand the aspects of how things work. When we are talking about money, we're talking about what? Understanding how the aspects of money works. Now, I said a little bit earlier that there are 5 markets, not one market, because oftentimes we understand and we talk about how many markets just to start. Why? Because that's the most exciting. That is the same way of saying this. Okay, when the news reports about somebody doing bad, they want to take that one person and represent the whole group of people. When that one person is just one person in the barrel doing something wrong, when there's other people who you can have 99 others that are doing things the right way. Okay, here it is on Source Radio Network. There are so many people using the internet for negative reasons, but we here on the Source family, we use it for positive reasons. Okay, so that's why you just can't take that one thing and use it as a measure of all things. But what you can do is that you can take what you have, understand and develop and let it grow by understanding how things work. So back to the markets. It's not one market, but 5 markets. Money is in the system. So when the stock market is down, that does not mean somebody took the money out and set it on fire. It doesn't mean that companies went kaput out of business. No, what it means is that the facilitation, and that's a big word, that's the word of the day, facilitation. In other words, the movement of money has moved from the stock and maybe to the foreign exchange. From the foreign exchange, it may move to the mortgage. From the mortgage, it may move to the money market. From the money market, it may move to the bond. And from the bond, it moves to the stock. So in other words, money is moving between those 5 markets all the time. But you only hear about the exciting one on the stock market, because that's where everybody think they're going to make a killing. Well, many folks have been killed trying to make a killing. But those who invest, those who understand the aspects of spreading your money out in different areas, and that's called what? Allocation. And those who understand that aspect, they tend to do better in the long run. Oh, yes. Yes, you can make money. I mean, you can, it can show wonders on a lot of things. But the factor that we want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is this. When you are, hear me now, when you are dealing with issues of finances, you have to know where you are with your knowledge base. Now, don't get me wrong. We all think we know everything. But the person that recognizes that they don't know everything is the one that's a bit capable of learning more. Listen here. We're all ignorant of something. And I am too, because although this is the industry that I've been in for 30 some odd years, I still have to learn to stay on the cutting edge because things are constantly changing. We all are ignorant of something. Hey, I've been on this God's green earth for over 50 years. And during that period of time, I still do not understand how a black cow can eat green grass, make white milk and yellow butter. I still don't understand it. But you know what happens? There are folks who will still eat the butter. There are folks who will still drink the milk. There are folks who will kill the cow and eat the meat. And there are some folks who will even smoke the grass. But things go on. And that's where it says what? We walk by faith and not by sight. All right, but our faith, okay, now remember this, faith without works is what? Dead. And what is the work that we must do? We must learn. That's right. We must learn of the ways to help make things better. When I ask that question, what is on your financial mind? I want to know so that we can help you learn better so that you can do better. You know, hey, when you know better, you do better. Finances are the same way. They're the same way. Someone once said talent utilization. All right, calculated and measured risk. Those are the things, because we calculate things. Just think about it. When it came time for you to start courting your spouse, all right, back in the days when y'all was courting, courting means dating, okay, dating, all right, and dating doesn't mean I'm going to send you a text message and meet me at this spot and we date. No. Got to go back to the old ways. And the reason why you want to go back to the old ways, because the old ways are the old ways, because the new ways don't become old enough to become old ways. Now, please don't ask me to say that again, but I want to get the point across. There are fundamental things in life that we must understand so that we can move forward. And what is it that we want to move forward on? We want to move forward on how we handle our money. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not understand what has happened with our latest tax law and the changes, I'm going to tell you, you need to be listening. You need to be listening. You need to hit us up. Hit us up on Twitter at TS Mitchell Power. Hit us up on Facebook at TS Mitchell Financial and Facebook on Power Over Tomorrow. Hit us up on the internet at tsmitchell.com. But do what you have to do to keep in communication with the information that's there. And the reason for that is because things are changing. If you are still functioning the way you was functioning 15 years ago, when it comes to understanding the aspects of investments, the aspects of money management, you may be left behind. The way we once were doing things, it has changed some. Oh, understand now, the fundamental things are still the same. The fundamental things such as proper allocation, proper utilization, proper diversification, and also proper education. Now, if there's any more vacations I can add in there, I'll think of them and maybe bring them to you next week. But all the things that we need to do, it's there. Those are the fundamental things. But here it is. When you build a house, the foundation is laid the same old-fashioned way. You line up the cornerstones, you pour and cure the concrete or the cement, and making sure that it is firm enough. Now, the materials that we use to build the house, that is what can change. Once the foundation is laid, we don't have to live in log cabins anymore. We don't have to live in shanties anymore. But we can use different types of wood. We can use different forms of masonry, okay, to build the house. We can make the house more energy efficient than we could have 15 or 20 years ago. So when it comes to investing, we talk about the fundamental things to build your financial foundation. And then the house that you build, we want to make it more financially efficient so that you will always have that roof over your head, that food on your table, and the clothes on your back. That's what we want to continue to bring to you here on Power Over Tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to continue on, keeping on, as the song say. But sometimes, you got to, as Mama used to tell me, give them enough to wet their whistle so that they come back again. So I think I've wet your whistle. If I didn't wet yours, I know I wet mine because I got my cold drink of water right here. Yes, I do. But ladies and gentlemen, what we want to share with you today is to understand that as we move forward in this year, 2018, And as we continue to move forward and press forward, we're going to have to talk about and address some issues that involve the new tax laws. What are the strategies that we're going to have to put together so that we can make it to next year? Okay. And, there are some things that have come about. Matter of fact, earlier today we did a show, and I think we're going to talk about this hopefully next week or so, Lord willing, about how to protect our children's financial future. How to protect our children's financial future. But today what we're going to do is we're just going to throw that out there to you. But we want to hear from you now. So during this week, when you have the time to sit back and think about, what's on your financial mind, I want you to shoot me your comments, shoot me your questions, your concerns. So that way we definitely put forth the effort to address these things in a way that is down to earth. It's not about big words and big companies and big stocks. It's about breaking it down to the simplest form so that you can use it for what you need to. People will often try and use big words to make sure that they stay needed. No, only thing that you need right now is someone sharing the right information with you. And then once you get the information, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to share it with someone else? I truly hope you do. I want you to share Power Over Tomorrow with your friends. Take this video, share it with your family, your friends, and even share it with your enemies too. The reason is because if they realize that you are trying to help them out, maybe they no longer will be your enemy, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, I always want to say it's truly a pleasure taking the topics that has been on your mind, giving me an opportunity to expound upon it in a way that it'll address your concerns and also share information with others. So here we are. We've come upon the hour where I say continue to hold on because we have other shows coming up. We have Dr. Samari Swaggart coming up. We have Kevin Hezekiah coming up today. And these young brothers, what they're doing is that they are bringing you the political corner, that they are bringing you the pendulum, that they are bringing you information so that you too can be sound when it comes to your political power, when it comes to your impact on the community, and when it comes to your financial stewardship. Ladies and gentlemen, in your walk of life, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind forever be at your back. May the sun shine upon you with his warmth, and may the rain fall upon you ever so gently. Until the next time when we can cross each other's path, may the God of heaven hold you in the hollow of his hands. I am Tyrone T.S. Mitchell. This has been Power Over Tomorrow. Source Nation, Facebook Live, YouTube, family, and friends. Be well, be blessed, and be your best. That was a good show. I had fun doing it too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to take my break before we have to head out. But definitely continue to hit us up on Power Over Tomorrow, Power Over Tomorrow on Facebook, T.S. Mitchell Financial on Facebook. Hey, hit us up. But the old brain ain't thinking right. Hit us up also on Twitter, T.S. Mitchell Power, okay?
Someone has just lost their job and they are concerned about their retirement plan. How can you help them? Well, first, if at all possible, please do not take a cash distribution. The taxes and penalties can make that money the most expensive money
you will ever use. That's right.
T.S. Mitchell Financial, we have over 20 years experience helping people with retirement and 401k plans.
Remember that.
We truly help people. Yes, our goal is to provide sound financial information for your family, your future, and your finances. Appointments are available at 1201 Hampton Street, downtown Columbia, online at tsmitchell.com and 803-744-3417.